Today I'd like to talk about the openness of oneself, the openness of the heart. Very often we may find ourselves in particular situations where we aren't open to life, we aren't open to experience. Maybe because of our past experiences have we closed off certain aspects of what we perceive in the moment, just so that we filter out all of that which can potentially hurt us. But very much like a flower, if it hasn't opened up, if it hasn't blossomed, how can it receive the sunlight? In this particular case, an open heart, the openness of oneself to life, to existence, allows them to receive direct consciousness, direct awareness and insight into every single moment. And in the same way the sunlight makes the flower grow, this awareness, this consciousness makes us grow. Maybe not physically, we don't photosynthesize, but we grow on a spiritual level. And the way it goes is that the more awareness we open up to, the more conscious we allow ourselves to be in the moment. Because the more conscious you are in the moment, the more open you are. The two are directly proportional. And so the more conscious we are in the moment, the more we receive the ability to become more conscious. And very often we sometimes are invited in this experience because of life happenings. And what we tend to do is we stop ourselves from this experience to manifest further. Because what happens is, as your consciousness or awareness begins to expand and grow, it grows beyond yourself. And so if it grows beyond yourself, that which you've always seen as yourself becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And if that's something that we've been conditioned from a very young age to protect, our identity is the thing that we protect, that we grow, that we serve. Having that look very small into the eye of existence, into the eye of the cosmos, can create a rather shaky feeling. We'll start to feel as though we are suffering, we are breaking down, we are even perhaps dying. But that's the feeling of putting yourself out into that which is beyond yourself. But the beauty here is, though, that if we allow this experience to continue to manifest, if we see it through without the rejections or the protection mechanism against the minimization of the identity, against the light of existence, what happens is the same thing that happens when you go hiking into the mountains and you just look into the horizon and you see the spectacular view of the mountain range. This puts your mind into stillness. This we call awe. And so in the same way, if we allow the expansion of this awareness, eventually the self becomes so small that we are placed into awe in the experience in every moment. And this is exactly the purpose of openness. And so why protect yourself from an identity that has been developed over time? What happens if it's hurt? Does it come with an emotion? But do you see that if we understand the underlying mechanism of how all of this unfolds, that there is really no one to be hurt. Nothing can really hurt you. You are beyond that which has been developed over time. You are beyond that which is confined within time. And the only reason we can experience the concept of time is because We are of that which is beyond time. So to really wrap this up, I want to highlight the true importance of the openness to life, the openness within our heart. And if we really, within our being, allow this to be, if we really create this openness, will you notice even a physical feeling in your heart? Will you really notice an openness? It's as though your heart blossoms open. And if we don't do this, how are we fulfilling our experience in life? In the same way, if the flower does not blossom, how is it fulfilling its purpose or mannerism within life as the flower? And so, because we are beyond identity, because we can observe the identity, we are not the identity. We cannot be that which is being observed. We cannot. Because if something is being observed, there is a distance from it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this gives you some form of insight into what this is all about. There are so many of these weird keywords, especially if this is something you're getting into for the first time. What is he talking about? What is Hassan talking about? But then some people, they just, feel like they already kind of know this. Even though they've never thought about it, it just makes sense. It just makes inherent sense. So we tune ourselves to what this person on the internet is saying, and it somehow makes sense. How weird is that, right? And to some people, this is just philosophical mumbo jumbo, and all of these different reactions to these kind of talks are all just thoughts flying through anyway, right? These are all things that you observe. And the beauty is having the choice as to how you react to these thoughts that you experience. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next week.